listening to The Mountain Gardener with local expert Ken Lane. Mountain gardening is very rewarding, with a few Ken's tips, tricks, and garden shortcuts sure to turn your thumbs even greener. Now welcome back to The Mountain Gardener.
And we are back with Lisa Waters Lane in the studio. We give this entire segment, I'd give the whole show to you. I'd love to share this little booth with you, my favorite gal, for the entire hour if I could. But we give her this segment specifically so I could rope her into coming in and
I don't
sharing.
have enough words to do the whole.
Can be a little bit of a challenge sometimes. I
Not
like
for
talking.
you.
My mom gave me a Mr. Microphone when I was a kid, and I've liked one ever since.
That is
and
true.
The more people that are tuned in, the bigger the audience, the
Happier you
more
are.
power. It's a sickness, actually. Most people, their number one fear of is death. But what trumps that is even, I can't say Trump anymore. What's even more frightful is speaking in front of audiences or people.
Mm-hmm.
No, I like that.
You are a great speaker, and
Thank you.
You love words and you love to use words.
I like to play with. I
whether
study
you're
words.
writing, whether you're speaking.
You know, as a kid, I really liked encyclopedias. You know, we had that Britannica.
Yeah.
They bought us one of those, and I would just go through, sit down the hallway, which where it was, turn the light on, and just thumb through it and learn stuff. And then I really, really liked dictionaries.
Oh yeah,
I love thesaurus. If you really get into it. But what does a word mean? Where does it come from? How to use it? I still get an app that tells me a word a day.
Yeah,
which is a freaky new word, and where it came from is from the Middle Ages, from 1642. It came from the French, Latin, or Greek, whatever.
It's crazy.
I like studying that.
I do too.
And how to use
I've
them.
always liked dictionaries and
Yeah.
encyclopedias, but I guess kids nowadays, they just do it on their phone.
Yeah.
They don't have it.
Now they got
in front
apps.
of
They
them.
go, I want to learn German. It goes, okay, here's a word in German today. Do this.
There you go.
It's actually easier today than ever before, but you don't get that feel of that heavy encyclopedia
Yeah.
pictures
Plus, I
that are in
think
there.
we just got, we had 3 channels, ABC, NBC, and CBS. And, you just didn't have all the other sources coming at you that kids today have.
Yeah.
So you could spend 30 minutes, an hour on the floor with a dictionary.
I heard a stat today, I think on NPR or something, that said the average child, I think Gen Z or Y or whatever they are today,
I don't know.
whatever the under, the
We're out of
teenage,
alphabet.
and they've been tucked in, they've been plugged in so much, they've never gone without technology. On average, they spend over 6 hours a day on screen time. That could be a phone, could be a TV, could be a
computer,
an iPad or whatever. But 6 hours, is that a
Wow.
long time or is it not? I don't know. Seems like a long time.
I don't think we even did that on a Saturday morning
Yeah.
when we could watch all the cartoons.
Your brain will rot if you sit there, and you'll lose you'll need glasses if you watch a TV too long. There's some things that's
Kids
not
these
true.
days.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
what our parents
It's
did to
just-
us.
They did. But, we can't be Luddites. Times are a-changing.
Right.
And the only thing we can do is help our kids adjust to that.
You know what I think we should do?
Garden more.
We should all garden more. That's right.
Ken's answered everything.
That's right.
Garden
I think
more,
there's
which
therapy
isn't
to it.
bad. Oh, that's
Yeah.
great. Get your kids out there and have them, your grandkids, your kids. Have
You
them
want
garden
to
with you.
connect with the next generation?
Oh, yeah.
Garden with them.
Mhm.
They are into it, and go archaeology, rocks, looking for lizards. I mean, just that's all the being outdoors.
Yeah.
It's great.
I agree. So speaking of being outdoors, so as I've said before, I walk the neighborhoods a lot. So I'm out seeing a lot of people's houses, and I'm just seeing something. I mean, our neighborhood is maybe 25 years
Yeah,
old.
it's developed. There's no more
Yeah.
infield kind of homes. It's
Mhm.
all built out.
And some of the homes have been there, I'd probably say 25, maybe 30 years.
Yeah, ours is a 2002 is when ours
Yeah.
was built, something like that. So 2000s and on.
Right. But some of these homes have never changed their landscaping
know.
in the whole time that
I
they've
know.
been there. And I think it is so worthwhile to take a fresh look at your house and go, man, nobody uses railroad timbers anymore.
I know.
Don't use those. Get
Yeah.
them out of your
Heck,
yard.
you can't use them. They don't make them anymore. Get rid of them and replace them with block or
Because
something.
by now, most of them are falling apart. They
right.
they look dated. They look bad. They make your house look dated.
Yeah.
There's some things like that you just kind of go, "Ew, just take care of that." The other thing I see a lot of is a tree that's just either ugly. I
Yeah.
mean, it is ugly. There's nothing you're going to do to make this tree pretty. And it's just sitting there in the yard. It's either half dead or it's just kind of really struggled. It's just not a beautiful tree.
A chainsaw for Christmas. That's
Yes.
going to be your friend.
And I think some of it, it's that whole we don't see it because we see it every day. And that's why I think sometimes just taking a fresh look at your house or standing out front and taking a picture and then looking at the picture of it can show you a lot. But I see a lot of really.
Or just talk to Lisa. She's walking the dogs in front of your house. No,
I'll be happy.
We're not talking about our neighbors.
No.
Just our neighborhood.
I'll be happy to tell you what to do here. But just get rid of those really ugly dead trees. They don't need to be there. They don't bring anything to the yard. They're just bleh.
One that gets me is old overgrown roses. They're way too big, gnarly, big old, and then way overgrown Russian sage. Yeah. This big purpley thing. It becomes a weed after a while. They need to be replaced every 17 years or so. You need to remodel more often.
You know what else I see a lot of is like ground covered junipers. Yeah. That have half of it's died off, or it's just overgrown. Really, nobody's paid attention to it for 10 years. Yeah. Watered or fertilized it, and you just look at it and go, ooh, do something with that.
A friend of mine at Rotary or someplace this week, a friend of mine, I forget where, this really close friend, said, "Oh, my junipers are too large. I want to cut them. I want to get them back to size. If they were in front of their house, they're now blocking the front entrance. They were maybe chest high. They want them down to hip high or a little lower. Can I do that?" And I went, "I don't think so, but because once you cut them back that much, they get real woody and twiggy, and you can see the inside, and they just look butchered. Yeah. And juniper, they don't recover at that point. No, really, you need to start over and put a new set, get another 20 years. I think they said they'd been in for 20 years. Yeah. Anyway,
definitely time to start over sometimes. The other thing I see a lot of, especially right now, is just weeds still in the yard. I mean, now is a great time to take care of them, whether you yank them out, just get them under control. Also put in some weed and grass stopper. Yeah. Get that down so that prevents the seeds from germinating. You don't get all that seed growing up. I get it. It's exhausting to get out there in your yard sometime, or you just don't have time. But if you can do things that are preventative, like the weed and grass stopper, that stuff is amazing. If you use it correctly and properly, I mean, we rarely pull weeds out of our yard.
Because we're putting it down before the weeds come up. So you're putting down weed and grass stopper. I mean, I will pay almost any amount for product if it prevents me from having to work out there. I don't have to hire someone to do it for me. I can do it myself. And weed and grass stopper is one of those. It's granular. You spread it out there, and it will get rid of foxtail and dandelion. Those are the two big winter weeds. They are starting to come up, or they will be up the next snow or rain event. You're going to have those two weeds because they love the winter. Yeah. And so they're nasty weeds that you can't just spray now. Now you have to physically pull them to get them out because it's winter. Sprays don't work. Right. And so in the summer, that you put it down again right at the rains, it'll keep tumbleweed and horehound and goat head. It's a nasty one. Keep them from coming up. You just won't have weeds.
Yeah, save yourself a ton of work, and it just makes your yard look so much nicer. Makes your neighbors happier. We all want that. I
don't know about that.
It does, because they're not looking at the weeds.
If we're your neighbors, makes us happier. Yes,
our neighbors are very good.
We got great neighbors.
The other thing I see a lot of, which really dates a yard, is the whiskey barrels. Remember when whiskey barrels, the wood barrels were still huge? Popular, huh? My goodness, there are some beautiful ceramic pots that you can put in. They take the winters, and they take 10 years off your home. Yeah. And they're just so pretty and colorful out there. I highly recommend doing that. The other thing is ugly garden art.
Okay, now we're getting subjective. Here we go.
I mean, some people, they put a banner out 10 years ago, and it's still there. Yes. It's all faded. Half of it's blown away. Or they put out some cute little squirrel out there, and now that squirrel has no face because it's all
melting in there with age. Another one is silk flowers are turning blue.
That's a definite indication.
That brings your house down, and it describes your taste. You got to be careful with that one. So,
are you talking about me?
Yeah, sorry. Okay, so It's okay
Now
to
that we've
remodel.
offended everybody.
Yeah, so it's okay to remodel. I think we need to remodel more
We do.
often
Take
our
a look.
landscapes to get rid of. You got $1 million house now,
Right.
and you got this ugly looking tree. It's time to redo it.
Yeah.
Ken and Lisa Lane, the Mountain Gardeners. Be right back after this.
Your yard will turn heads with stunning evergreen shrubs from Watters Garden Center.
Watters grows greener shrubs for year-round interest, as well as blooming shrubs for pops of color in spring.
Attract birds with a tall privacy hedge and the berries that follow.
Plus, winter evergreens are easier to grow than other plants.
No matter your landscape, we have the perfect shrubs for a greener winter.
Visit Watters Garden Center in Prescott or online at wattersgardencenter.com.
We believe your garden should be natural, safe, and organic. At Watters Garden Center,
If you enjoy this show and would like to hear more, please subscribe to The Mountain Gardener wherever you like to listen to podcasts. And if you'd like even more garden tips, tricks, and helpful advice, please check out my website at wattersgardencenter.com for classes, videos, and more, or my online garden center at top10plants.com. Throughout the week, Lisa and I can be found here at Watters Garden Center in Prescott.